The Pixel 9a is here, and for $499 you get a matte finish, Gemini AI, 7 years of updates and no camera bar. And it wants to be the phone you recommend to everyone who asks, hey, what should I get for around $500? But after watching Linus Tech Tips, Mrwhosetheboss, TechSpurt and 9 to 5 Google, I have questions. This phone is clean, capable and charmingly understated, but in 2025 where the Poco F7 exists with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and the F7 Ultra is basically a cheap flagship with an elite chip glued on top, is the Pixel 9a still a mid-range king or just mid? Let's break it down. Google finally gave the A series a personality. No more recycled flagship shells, the 9a looks and feels like its own thing. Flat back, flat sides, and no camera bar doing backflips on your desk. LTT called the lack of camera bump a genuine relief. No pocket snags, no wobble, and no balancing act. The design to me feels very nonchalant. And sure, it's plastic, but matte plastic. It feels solid, looks clean, doesn't attract fingerprints like the Pro models, but even TechSpurt, who misses the Pixel camera visor, said that it still looks premium. Colors? We've got iris, peony, porcelain, and obsidian. But in normal people terms, it's blue, pink, white, and black. But sure, Google, name them like you're selling scented candles. IP68 means it can survive water, dust, and tears of frustration when you find out that it doesn't come with a charger. Speaking of, what's in the box? Literally nothing. Just a phone, USB-C cable, and some paper that no one reads. Mrwhosetheboss gave the Pixel and the iPhone 16e a 4 out of 10 for its box contents. Same eco-friendly, vibe-only packaging, no case, no charger, not even a sticker. It's definitely a sign of the times, and I'm not here for it. I really don't like the way that Samsung, Apple, and Google are going about this. Not even having a charger with your phone just seems so disappointing. Let's talk screen. 6.3-inch OLED, 120Hz refresh rate and 2700 nits of peak brightness. And you have to turn on the 120Hz manually because why not make people dig through the settings to find the one feature they actually want? The bezels? Still chunky, like thick, with 2 C's. TechSpurt said that they're slimmer than the 8A, but calling them slim would be a lie, punishable by YouTube demonetization. Still, it's a solid panel, great contrast, sharp enough, full HDR10 support, and outdoors, totally usable, even with sunglasses with full sun glare. Credit where it's due, Google nailed the brightness claims this year. Honestly, for media and day-to-day use, the screen feels closer to a flagship than it has any right to be. Onto performance and software. Inside we've got Google's Tensor G4 with 8GB of RAM. Same chip as the Pixel 9, same AI muscle, just fewer background processors running due to the RAM difference. Now look, this isn't a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or Elite. This ain't the Poco F7 Pro. Gaming performance is okay but not amazing, withering waves and Genshin dip frames like they owe money. But for most people, social apps, camera, web, maps, calls, Gemini, all runs buttery smooth. No major throttling thanks to the vapor chamber cooling, and LTT confirmed it stays cool even when under pressure. Gemini is here, but it's the light version, no pixel screenshots, no call notes. Think of it as Gemini without the gym membership. Still helpful, still AI powered, but at least 5 times better than Apple Intelligence. Software wise, it's a Pixel. Clean Android, no bloating, tight animations, and Google promises 7 years of updates. That's Samsung level support. Alright, this is where it gets juicy. 5100 mAh battery, the biggest in the Pixel, even bigger than the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And yes, it delivers. 9 to 5 Google got a day and a half. LTT tests showed 20 to 40% improvement over the 8A. That's rare. And we're talking 1.5 days of real-world use, or a full day for those of us glued to TikTok. Charging? 23 watt wired or 7.5 watt wireless. There's no battery share, no Qi 2, No MagSafe, just regular plug it in and wait a bit speeds. Still, it's fine for overnight top-ups, but if you're used to 80-watt fast charging on something like the Realme GT Neo or the Poco, this will feel like a slow burn. Now for the Pixel's strong suit. 48 megapixel main and a 13 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. It's the same sensor as the Pixel Fold, and yeah, it's good. Photos are sharp, colors are natural, and Google's processing is still black magic. Low light, it's still a beast. It has night sight, astrophotography, best take, and magic eraser. TechSpurt liked the ultra-wide. 9to5 Google said that the white balance leans cool, and Mrwhosetheboss was impressed by the detail but disappointed that there's no autofocus on the selfie cam. LTT, just glad that it's not over sharpened like the Nothing Phone 3A. And you can zoom up to 8 times digital. It's usable but very soft. Think Instagram okay, not CSI enhance. Video though, oof, no video boost. Linus said that the iPhone still eats the Pixel alive in video quality, especially stabilization and audio, and he's not wrong. Pixel rules when it comes to still photography in the mid-range, but video, Apple's got it locked. Let's put it up against the iPhone 16e. You know, Apple's newest entry-level but not so entry-level iPhone. $599, 60Hz refresh rate, no ultra-wide camera, and still rocking a notch in 2025? It's the phone equivalent of showing up late to a party and then refusing to dance. Performance-wise, the iPhone wins. The A18 is a beast, even though it has 4 cores dropped. Take it for what it is, it has Apple Intelligence, but no customization and no Android flexibility, just iOS and blue bubbles. Display, Pixel wins, software, Pixel, but in the ecosystem, Apple takes it, as always. If you're all in on Apple gear, it's way too hard to leave. The camera, Pixel has the edge with the ultra-wide, but the iPhone 16e has better video. The battery, both are solid, but Pixel's biggest sell helps it edge out on heavier use days. So what's the verdict? Pixel 9a is the better value. iPhone 16 is the better choice if you want performance and don't care about features, or living in the year 2025. So after all that, is the Pixel A worth it? It's not the most powerful, it's not the fastest charging, it doesn't have flagship tier video or fancy glass backs, but for $499, it hits almost every mark that matters. Clean software, excellent battery, killer camera. It also has software support that'll last longer than most relationships. It's not the spec king, that title goes to the Poco and the Snapdragon Brigade, but it just might be the smartest buy for normal people who want a phone that works, lasts a long time, and doesn't cost $1,300. So that is the Pixel 9. Chill, capable, not flashy, not overhyped, just smart. But what do you think? Is this your daily driver? Or are you waiting for a Poco F7 Ultra sale at 3 AM on AliExpress? Drop a comment, smash a like and sub for more brutally honest tech recaps, and this is Recap Tech.